they're gonna, they're owned by the Bayer Company, so that's the FDA and the Agriculture Department and all that, but that's enough of them. So, as you can see, the stuff just keeps, that's probably some of my winter garden that's out there, that's started out there. The freezer, I can tell you a story about the freezer. The freezer is from a friend, his friend's grandmother. The freezer is from 1952, okay? The freezer is this long, and it's a chest, and I keep waiting for it to break, and it hasn't broken yet, so I keep saying, it's gonna break, but I'm for that thing, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, okay? So, my therapy behind all of this is that I get out and I get in tune with the earth, and I find solace outside. I go out there at 6 o'clock in the morning. There's so much gun violence, robberies, and carjackings, and all that other stuff in the neighborhood, but I go out there and I'm peaceful at that time of the morning because they aren't out there. I'm cautious of my surroundings, but I just kind of like be very careful and stuff. I always have posts of fruits of my labor on my Facebook page, and so many people say, oh, I would like to come by and get some vegetables, and I say, oh, sure, come on over, and then I don't hear from them anymore. I say, come on over and you can pick them. I don't hear from them anymore. So I assume they want me to dig the ground, plant the seeds, water them, pick them, wash them, blanch them, maybe cook them, and if I do all that, I might as well chew them up for them too, and just give it to them like baby. But they just, everybody wants to get it, but you can just see how so much stuff I've had, and I just give stuff away. I freeze what I can. I find peace in eating well. Over the 3 years I have grown, maybe I should do Shirley Temple, like beans, greens, tomatoes. Okay, I don't know. But anyway, I have grown over the years corn, okra, lima beans, green beans, beets, sweet potatoes, all kinds of squash, broccoli, cauliflower, green, red, and yellow peppers, habanero, chili, Thai, jalapeno peppers, carrots, turnips, cabbage, kale, collards, mustard greens, red kale, eggplants, watermelons, and other things that I can't remember. I had so many watermelons that I had to just start buying the water bottles and emptying them out into gallon jugs and making watermelon juice. So, you can see my corn. The corn was good too. But, right? So I started freezing a lot of this stuff and freezing vegetables. And I don't know the thing, what to blanch or what not to blanch. So I pretty much would blanch like the greens and stuff like that. The okra, I would leave that kind of, long, but I would put it, if I sliced it, I would put it on a long tray and let it be freezed individually. Then I could put it in a bag and I could get it out whenever I wanted to. I had people that were always coming up, my neighbors all of a sudden, they wanted to get involved because they were like, oh my God, you got 13 okra plants. They were taller than me. 13 tomato plants, and then I know I didn't plant all those habanero plants. I think the birds dropped some of the seeds off. The bugs ate the habanero plants. I thought they would be too hot for them. They didn't. In spacing, I didn't know how to space the stuff. They would say, I would read the package and it would say, space it 12 inches. I said, well, this looks like 12 inches to me. This is good enough. It don't need that much space because it's going to grow straight up. No, it started growing up like that. So that first year, they were all kind of like tight and stuff like that. Those are some of the sweet potatoes. They were big. I didn't know they were still under the ground. And I just happened to be digging up and I found them the next year. That thing looked like an animal. It was so big. Those were the beets. I didn't know the beets were still there. And with the sweet potatoes, one of the elders told me, as long as you don't take the dirt off of them, they'll last forever. Those like greens that I had that were just, every day I was going out there getting cratefuls of greens and stuff like that. I wasn't going to do a fall garden, but my neighbors all of a sudden decided they wanted to be farmers, so they thought that they would go get some stuff. I told them some of the things probably wouldn't last because they just wouldn't make it through the wintertime. So right now we have, in the yard, I have broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, white kale, Russian kale, collards, mustard greens, turnips, and carrots. And I pulled a bunch of greens last week because last year the ice storm destroyed my collards. I mean, just absolutely destroyed it. Snapped them, broke them, and everything. So I pulled a whole bunch of stuff, but that's pretty much what the winter garden is looking like now. Everybody said, did you cover it up? I was like, no, I didn't cover it up. I'm just gonna, as long as it's not an ice storm, they like the frost. They they go down, they'll lay flat, and when the sun comes up, they'll stand back up. So saving seeds, I learned to work from the elders. I started saving my seeds from my okra and from my tomatoes and squash and anything that had a seed. And the greens and stuff, they'll seed up after a while. I started saving them because Dick Reagan used to always talk about buying fruits and vegetables with seeds. He's like, if they don't have seeds in them, if you're on an island and you eat all your food, what you gonna eat next? And I was like, okay, so I try to make sure I save all my stuff, and that's how I collect my seeds. My neighbors wanted to join in. You can go to some of that's a nice looking okra too. My okra was good, but they always wanted to join in, and it took me a minute to warm up to some people being in my space because I'm not that friendly, but I'm learning to be more open.